We said we were looking for someone who knows how to help us postpone elections. And as I say, the fake news industry said, hold my beer.
I was like, are those guys for real? And what are they exactly offering? Because it seemed almost too big to be true.
Omer Ben Jacob and Damien Leloup were part of the consortium of over 100 journalists who worked on the Story Killers project. Together, they investigated the inner workings of the global and secretive disinformation industry.
What is fake news? Fake news is when people don't believe it. That is fake. Not because it's reality or not reality. The question is credibility.
What we wanted to do in this project was to kind of go behind the bots, go behind the avatars, find the people behind these unattributed dark campaigns.
One of those companies that proposes disinformation for hire, we call Team Georges, because they never introduce themselves under their real names. It's a small group of people in Israel. You can hire them to try and swing an election in your favor by publishing lots of disinformation in mainstream medias, on social networks, pretty much everywhere.
Gur Megiddo, Frederic Metezor, and myself put together a elaborate but also quite simple plan, which is to pretend to be clients. And we said we were looking for someone who knows how to help us postpone elections. There's supposed to be elections in some country and we don't want those elections to happen. And we're looking for someone to get this project done.
I was very surprised by the variety of tools they offered and the sort of casual, matter-of-fact way in which they said, oh yeah, we can help your client win an election, or we can completely change the image of a rival company. Look, we've done this before. Here are a few examples of companies we've helped and markets we've worked on.
For most of the investigation, we were not scared that something would happen to us, but there was a very scary phase at the end, like kind of the last 3-4 weeks, before the story came out, but after we kind of had to reach out for responses. You know, these people that we write about, they do fake news, like that's their business. And there was, I think, a genuine threat or genuine fear that there would be attempts to discredit us as reporters before the story came out. And I think in that sense, when you're part of a group, you feel much safer. I never felt at risk, but that maybe I never felt at risk because I knew I was part of this kind of Forbidden Stories network, you know what I mean?
I've worked several times with consortiums, including with Forbidden Stories. It's hugely fun for a start. We as a group have been working together for a number of years now, and I think after we did Project Pegasus together, we were all kind of already in a very close, I would say almost intimate professional dialogue with each other. They actually brought us to Paris, all of us together, to kind of conceptualize beforehand how we want to do a disinformation project. It's much more efficient, I think, for investigations of that nature, because you need the whole range of expertise of people who know different countries, different technical specialties, different political environments, and you cannot do this level of quality work by yourself. The age of journalists working alone exclusively is over. Exclusivity is no longer something that matters in media at all. You actually now want the opposite of exclusivity. The only way people will talk about my story is if it's on every newspaper that matters in Europe, America, and Latin America. You know what I mean? The only way to grab people's attention is not by one headline on one front page. You need 17 front pages. What we've seen in the past 6 months or in the past year is that private sector companies, they're a key part in what has happened in Romania, for instance. These companies exist with quite a lot of impunity. Like, no one is really doing anything about this. We don't have free speech if our social media and if our ecosystem is diluted by fake people. Like, no one can hear you voice your opinion in a room with 1,000 screaming robots. And we have to get back to a point in which human voices are the voices that we're hearing.